It's time for America Outdoors Radio. The fast-paced hour of outdoors radio ahead is not only awesome, but unlike those other shows, you can actually sleep in for this one. Better still, we've got a special Pacific Northwest edition for you. You won't find this version of America Outdoors Radio anywhere else, and you'll only hear it here on KRKO AM 1380.
Welcome aboard. We've got another great local edition of America Outdoors Radio for you. At the bottom of the hour, we'll be checking in with Tom Burlingame with XL Fishing Charters to see how the CQ Salmon opener went for him and his clients last weekend. And you'll want to stick around for the end of our broadcast because we'll be talking to local guide Aaron Peterson, who's pulling up stakes on the Cowlitz and heading to the lower Columbia for some Springer action. Aaron will tell you how he's going to go about catching those Chinook salmon in case you're looking for some advice. However, before we talk to these great guides, it's time to tell you what's hot and what's not. Sponsored by your local Sportsman's Warehouse store, where Ladies' Night is set to take place April 5th with all sorts of raffles, prizes, and more just for the ladies between 5:30 and 8 p.m. at Sportsman's Warehouse on Everett Mall Parkway. But if you can't make it to the Everett store, don't worry, it's happening at every other Sportsman's Warehouse store too. The date again, April 5th, and the time for the Everett store, 5:30 to 8 p.m. We start off with the results of the Everett Blackmouth Derby that took place last weekend. 383 anglers participated. They caught 130 salmon. The average weight, 5.77 pounds. And the winner was Sam Shepard from Tulalip, who reeled in a St. Patty's Day 11.82-pound fish. Checking NorthwestFishingReports.com, we've got a couple of reports to share with you from Snohomish County. Josh H. went out on Lake Goodwin last weekend in his fishing kayak and found some chunky rainbow trout, hooking 5 and landing 4 in short order before the bite shut off. He was trolling a Doc Spratley fly behind a Max Double D Dodger in about 10 to 15 feet of water. At Lake Stevens, the owner of Rely Lures found the kokanee fishing was fast and furious last Sunday, and he shared a picture of 20 silvery salmon that he and his partner caught to prove it. They were trolling 20 to 40 feet deep. They were using a Rely Lures Diamond Flash spinner in 50/50 silver, and he was also using kokanee trolling flies in purple and cotton candy with 10 to 12-inch leaders behind Dick Knight Dodgers. He tipped his hooks with a secret orange corn recipe and some dipping sauce. If you want to find out more about how the fishing is near you, well, your first stop ought to be NorthwestFishingReports.com. Just go to the reports section. What's not hot are the coastal and Columbia River salmon forecasts for this summer. The Chinook run is down more than 50% from the long-term average, and the coho run is expected to be similar to last year, which wasn't very good either. Fisheries managers are weighing several options. The best-case scenario has seasons similar to last year. The other two alternatives call for later opening days and fishing only allowed on certain days of the week in the coastal marine areas until season quotas are met or until September 1st. What's also not hot, at least for deer, elk, and livestock, is the news that our state's wolf population continues to grow. The Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife believes there are now at least 122 wolves roaming the state in 22 packs, most of them located in the northeast part of the state. And with that, now you know what's hot and what's not right here in the Pacific Northwest.
And with that, let's head to this week's national edition of America Outdoors Radio.
NorthwestFishingReports.com is the Northwest's largest fishing reports website, featuring well over 50,000 fishing reports, videos, articles, and more. All 100% free. Catch more fish with Northwest Fishing Reports. Log on today.
Backcountry Hunters and Anglers' 7th Annual Rendezvous is coming to Boise, Idaho. Join fellow sportsmen and women from across North America for an event-filled weekend at the Boise Center, April 12th through the 14th. For tickets, go to backcountryhunters.org.
Natural wonders, beaches, and coves, majestic forests, and scenic vistas are waiting for you at the Tillamook Coast. Lace up your hiking boots, grab your camera, and come to Northwest Oregon. Find out more at tillamookcoast.com.
It's time for another local shot of the outdoors. It's the Pacific Northwest edition of America Outdoors Radio, and you'll only hear it here on Fox Sports 1380 KRKO.
It's time to check in with Tom Burlingame with XL Fishing Charters. He has been fishing Marine Area 5 off of CQ, just opened up last weekend. Gotta ask you, Tom, did it open up with a bang or a whimper?
Well, it wasn't a bang and it wasn't a whimper, John. We had really good fishing. We averaged about a fish and a half per man the first 2 days we fished down there.
I'm comparing that to what happened during the Everett Blackmouth Derby, where it was about one fish for every three anglers. So, comparatively speaking, it is pretty red hot if you're getting a fish and a half apiece. What's the size of them this year?
We've had fish up to 9 pounds the first 2 days. We've had a lot of 24-inch fish, so they're not giants, but there's been plenty of them. I think the second day we fished, we'd have probably had more because the bite's been good in the afternoon when the tide changes, and we just missed that. We went in a little early.
Any surprises so far as things have opened up?
No surprises. The good news is that there's bait in the area. There's a lot of candlefish. These fish were full of candlefish, so they should hold for a while.
So what does that equate to in terms of lures that you're offering? We've talked about this before.
We're fishing small presentation. Mostly coho killers have been working real well for us. Ones with a glow back seem to be best.
All right. Well, folks, if you want to go fishing with Tom Burlingame, here's the website to go to. It's xlfishingcharters.com. XL spelled EXCEL, fishingcharters.com. That's xlfishingcharters.com. It's probably the hottest fishing you're going to find in Puget Sound or in the Straits. So book your trip for Marine Area 5 and do it sooner than later. Thanks, Tom.
Thank you, John.
There's a whole bunch more of the great outdoors coming your way on Fox Sports 1380.
Marine Area 5 near CQ is open for a special Chinook salmon fishery from February 16th to April 30th, and XL Fishing Charters is ready to take you out for a great day on the water. One of the great things about this fishery is the fact that you get to take home not one, but 2 blackmouth a day, and Captain Tom Burlingame has the knowledge and experience to help you get that done. Find out more about fishing with XL Fishing Charters at xlfishingcharters.com. Book your trip now.
Hey, we're talking to Lance Mers today with Max Lure Company about a brand new lure that's just slaying the trout out there on area lakes. It's the Smile Blade Spin Drift Trout Lure from Max Lure Company. Lance, what makes this lure so special?
Well, we've got our Max Lure patented Smile Blade, our high UV components, and the Spin Drift hook, which gives it a great corkscrew action in the water.
There you go, folks. All 3 components help you catch more fish. The Smile Blade Spin Drift Trout Lure, only from Max Lure Company.
Let's get back to the local outdoors scene. It's the Pacific Northwest edition of America Outdoors Radio. Heard exclusively here on Fox Sports 1380 KRKO.
For your next local shot of the outdoors, we're talking to local guide Aaron Peterson, the owner of Peterson's Northwest. His website is petersonsnorthwest.com. Aaron, I understand you're about to head down to the lower Columbia for some springer fishing. How do you expect it to be?
The numbers are looking good this year, John, and with the snowpack and weather, this year's shaping up to be pretty good.
I think it's going to be shaping up to be a lot better than last year when everything was so blown out because of the heavy runoff. Now, I understand on the lower Columbia, it's 1 Chinook you get to keep. How are you going about getting those fish in the boat?
I have 2 tactics I like to do for these spring Chinook. Depends on the water temperatures. I like to drop the hook and do quick fish, and I also like to troll herring. Just depends on the water and what these fish are doing.
So when it comes to the quick fish, when it comes to the herring, are you using scent or are you going au naturel?
I like to wrap my quick fish with sardines and doctor them up a little bit, find out some traveling lanes where these fish are coming. And then for the herring, I run a variety. I'll run an anise base, I'll run just a standard salted herring, and goof around with some other stuff.
So the lower Columbia, that's a big stretch. You know, I'm not asking for your specific hole, but what area are you fishing of the lower Columbia?
That's a good question. Anywhere from the Kalama area up to Frenchman's Bar to the I-5 corridor. Just kind of depends if it's the last week of March or the first 2 weeks of April and what these fish are doing.
And last question for you, do you have any openings left?
I do have a couple days here and there. My weekends are filling up. I might have 1 weekend left, but as you know, John, they do extensions throughout April. Depends on the quota and the numbers that are being caught. Last year we went into the third week on the lower Columbia, so get in touch with me and we'll get you penciled in.
Website to do so, folks, is petersonsnorthwest.com. That's petersonsnorthwest.com. To book a trip with Aaron Peterson, he knows his business. He'll show you a great time and get you into the fish. Thanks, Aaron.
Thanks, John.
That wraps up our broadcast for this week, but be sure to tune in next Saturday from 8 to 9 a.m. for more local shots of the outdoors right here on Fox Sports KRKO.
A seafood bounty is waiting for you on Northwest Oregon's Tillamook coast. Catch a limit of big salmon, haul up a pot of delicious crab, and dig up a bunch of clams for some hot chowder. Plan your visit today at tillamookcoast.com.